Hi, today we discuss a very unique, unexplored topic, a new way to look at life. Have you ever wondered what an ideal life would be like? Watch this video completely. Your perspective about life is going to change soon. Don't forget to comment after completing the video. Let's start with Aristotle's virtue ethics. Imagine for a moment that your life is like a storybook, filled with chapters of adventure, challenges, and lessons. You wake up each morning and, in every decision you make, you are writing your own story. Now, what if I told you that the main tool for crafting a truly meaningful story is not simply talent, luck, intelligence, or even money, but something deeper, something called virtue? This was the big idea of a great thinker named Aristotle, who lived thousands of years ago, but whose wisdom is still changing lives today. Aristotle believed that happiness isn't just about feeling good or having lots of stuff. He called true happiness Eudaimonia, a rich, full life that grows from becoming the best version of yourself. But how do you get there? It starts with virtue. Not the kind of virtue that just means following rules, but a way of living that makes you stronger, kinder, and wise. Let's picture this in everyday life. Imagine you're playing a game and you want to get really good at it. You can't just wish for it. You practice. You learn from your mistakes. You notice what works and what doesn't. Aristotle says life is a lot like that game. Virtues are like skills you build by choosing wisely, doing the right thing over and over, until it becomes second nature. He called it finding the golden mean, not doing too much or too little, but finding balance. For example, think about courage. If you have too little courage, you might never stand up for yourself or try new things. If you have too much, you might take wild risks or get hurt. But the right amount means stepping up when it matters, even if you're scared, but not putting yourself in needless danger. It's the golden mean. Let's look at a real story. There was a girl named Jenna who always kept quiet in class because she was afraid of being wrong. She watched others answer boldly, but inside she felt invisible. One day her teacher noticed and encouraged her to speak up. Jenna tried, shakily at first. Little by little she started raising her hand, giving answers even if she wasn't sure. Sometimes she made mistakes, but each time she learned. She discovered that courage wasn't being fearless, it was daring to try, even while afraid. Jenna practiced this virtue daily, and soon confidence became part of her story. Her happiness and success didn't come from being perfect, but from growing a little each day. Now imagine kindness. Aristotle believed kindness isn't just about helping others out of duty. It's about feeling the joy that comes from caring, from listening, from choosing to understand before judging. Think of someone who volunteers at an animal shelter. She might start because she loves pets, but she keeps coming back because every time she helps, she feels lighter, happier, more connected. Kindness becomes her habit, her virtue. She becomes the author of a life filled with meaning. Aristotle's idea is that virtues are not things we're born with, but skills we build, like drawing, music, or sports. The more we practice, the better we get. It's easy to think, I'm just not a patient person, or I'll never be brave. But imagine if every time you waited calmly, every time you tried again after failing, every time you forgave, you were building that virtue. Over time, it becomes your superpower. Now, think about self-control. Imagine a boy named Sam who loves sweets. Every day, he craves sugar, but he knows his health and energy depend on more balance. At first, it's hard. Saying no feels impossible. But with practice, eating one less cookie, choosing fruit sometimes, he finds that it gets easier. Self-control grows, and soon his choices support his goals. Sam feels proud, not because he never slips, but because he's learning bit by bit how to do what's best for himself. Aristotle teaches us that there are many virtues: patience, honesty, generosity, humility, gratitude, forgiveness, fairness. Each one is a skill waiting to be practiced. You don't have to master them all at once. Life is long. Each day, every choice is a page in your story. Why does this matter for happiness? It's because when you choose virtue, it shapes you from the inside out. You start to trust yourself, connect with others, build strong relationships, and face challenges with hope. Aristotle believed that this is what makes life joyful and meaningful. Here's a quote from Aristotle: "We are what we repeatedly do." Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. Next time you feel unsure, remember, who you are becoming is built from tiny moments, repeated every day. Even mistakes have power. Everybody falls, everybody fails. What matters is getting back up. If a friend is angry, you choose patience over arguing. If you're struggling, you ask for help instead of hiding. Virtue means learning, listening, and growing. Let's look at gratitude. Sometimes life is tough. It's easy to focus only on struggles. But imagine listing one thing each day you're thankful for. A smile from a stranger, a cozy bed, a funny joke, a lesson learned. Gratitude is a virtue that turns even hard times into chances to grow. Imagine honesty. Telling the truth takes courage, especially when it's easier to hide or pretend. But every time you are honest, with a friend, with yourself, you build trust. That trust becomes the foundation for friendship, teamwork, and love. Humility is another virtue. It means knowing you don't know everything, and that's okay. It's seeing others not as competition, but as companions. It's letting yourself learn, sharing the spotlight, and celebrating the wins of others. Now, think about forgiveness. Everyone gets hurt sometimes. Sometimes, you are the one who makes a mistake. Forgiving others and yourself lets go of heavy shadows and lets in light. It's not always easy, but every time you choose forgiveness, you free yourself to heal and move forward. Even in moments of anger, virtue makes a difference. A person who practices self-control can pause, breathe, and choose a response instead of reacting in a way they'll regret. This habit makes relationships stronger and keeps life peaceful. Let's bring it into our world. Every day, notice the virtues around you. Maybe your mom shows patience with you as you make mistakes. Your friend might show generosity by sharing their snack. You might feel gratitude when someone includes you in a game. By recognizing these virtues in others and practicing them yourself, you make your community happier. Virtue ethics is about balance, not perfection. There's no scorecard, no finish line. It's a lifelong journey. Every choice builds who you are. You don't need to change overnight. Start with a small step. Be kind to someone who feels left out. Ask for help when you're struggling. Forgive a friend who let you down. Imagine at school, you see someone being mean to another student. You could join in or ignore it, or choose virtue and stand up, even with shaky voice. Hey, that's not okay. That one choice can light a spark of courage, inspire others, and show you what you're capable of. Motivational quotes help guide the way. Aristotle said, "Knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom." Maya Angelou said, "I've learned that people will forget what you said. People will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel." These words remind us, virtue is the bridge to making life meaningful for yourself and those around you. Let's add another story. Joey had trouble making friends because he was shy. He envied kids who seemed popular and fun. One day, he decided to practice generosity. He brought extra art supplies and shared them. Soon, others noticed, joined in, and friendships grew naturally. Joey's happiness didn't come from changing himself overnight, but from practicing one small virtue until it flourished. Life will bring challenges. You might feel impatient or selfish sometimes. You might find it hard to be fair or honest. That's normal. Every stumble is a chance to practice. The more you do, the easier it gets, the happier you become. Your story will be filled with courage, kindness, gratitude, and love. So, as you listen, ask yourself, which virtue will you practice today? Patience when a sibling annoys you. Kindness to a stranger. honesty when you feel scared, forgiveness for an old hurt. Keep the story going. Every time you choose virtue, you step closer to Aristotle's idea of true happiness, a life well lived, built through courage, wisdom, and heart. There are no perfect people, only people who try, learn, and grow. Happiness is not something you wait for, it's something you build, choice by choice, moment by moment. Take pride in your virtues. They are the tools you will use to make your life amazing. Step forward, keep writing your story, and watch as joy, strength, and meaning fill the pages. Your virtues are your guide. You are the hero of your journey. Let your story be one the world is inspired by.